Would you like to support Cubs Out Loud? One way is to join us over on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, patrons get early access to our shows, the pre and post show, and various other rewards. You can learn more at patreon.com/Cubs Out Loud. Thanks to all of our patrons for their support in making this podcast. It's February 15th, 2026. I'm Jeff.
Who's your bear? That's right. I am your bear.
I'm Damon.
I don't brew the tea, I just serve it.
And that makes me Gary.
Everyone else is thinking it, and I just say it.
Welcome to Cubs Out Loud, the Bear Podcast with Indeterminate Length, episode number 816. And I did it. I survived VD.
Did you?
I huddled in my home and stayed out from anybody around. Mm-hmm. Although we did have a VD party on Friday at work because everybody was there on Friday and had some good food. But
you know, there's a shot for that.
Or a pill.
Or pill, yeah.
I mean, I got
both.
roses.
Yeah.
I got roses.
Oh.
Pepperoni mozzarella.
Oh. Wait. Mm-hmm.
There were little like baked goods that had pepperoni and mozzarella in it. And you pour some marinara on it.
Nice.
We had some donuts. We had some sugar cookies, and somebody made some like strawberry bar thing, which was tasty.
I'm proud of the fact that our culture for our division for work has been shifting, and we are now becoming a bunch of feeders. So, like, regularly, people are bringing in foods like to share. So, like, earlier this past week, someone brought in Girl Scout cookie flavored pop-tarts. So that's a collab that's happening out there in the world.
Wait. Yeah. Hold on. Oh,
yeah.
We need clarification. What type of a Girl Scout cookie? I'm sorry, there's plenty of different types of Girl Scout cookies. But when they say Girl Scout cookie flavored, what does that mean?
The two kinds they brought in were Thin Mint and Samoas,
which are kind of the standard Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
I hate this.
I personally am not a big. I'm not a personal fan of chocolate mint necessarily, so I was intrigued to get the Samoa one. Why? Why would you be hurt? You can have mine, and I can have yours. See how that balances out. So, and actually, I was pleasantly surprised that the flavor profile was like the cookie. Different format factor. Wasn't quite,
That's why I think those are the only two.
Oh.
Probably because those two are probably the most popular Girl Scout cookies. Or the Thin Mints and Samoas.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was earlier in the week, and then one of our folks loves to bake. So we had a heart-shaped cake on Friday, and I brought in Tootsie Roll Pops that had little Valentine quote things on the wrappers, and I brought in an Oreo Reese collab. So they're Oreos, but they're filled with Reese's peanut butter filling. Because some of us really like, chocolate and peanut butter. So yeah, that's just an example of how we're loving each other at the workplace, and we're just, bringing in food. Plus it's winter and we're hibernating and getting fat. So there's that.
Yeah. Feeders. That's such a thing. I was like, we just said, and I was like, I love how y'all are all talking about your Valentine's or VD Day like things, and I went into work on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I got like a bag of candy. Like it was like different things, but it was like a nice like I have one here that we got for Christmas. Like I am occasionally snacking on, but I got another one for Valentine's Day, and I'm like, this is nice. That's sitting at the office because um, I can have the occasional sugar there.
Right.
It feels nice to that. This is I don't know how I know. I'm trying to lose weight, y'all. I don't need all these like people bringing all this random shit in. Like, yeah, I would not. Maybe I'm glad I only work in the office 2 days a week for now.
That's totally fair. Yeah, the temptations are great out there, you know.
Indeed.
Speaking of temptations, should we actually get into the topic today?
Yeah.
It's a little
Oh.
bit. Here it is. Specifically, what, Gary?
Well, so yeah, the series is Let's Talk About Sex. This is about our favorite features. So yesterday, as we were just kind of mentioning here, at least for some folks in the US, was Valentine's Day, otherwise known as Single Celebration Day or whatever else you want to call it. And so some people did some things. I insanely went into a grocery store because I had to go to the pharmacy to pick up my stuff. I'm never in this grocery store on a Saturday. I was very perturbed as to how busy this place was and what was going on. And then on top of it, I realized it was Valentine's Day. So there was a fair amount of people in there, like doing last minute shopping and stuff, like buying flowers and candies and things. And I was like, this was not the day I should have chosen. I should have come in like Friday or today or even tomorrow, just not yesterday. It wasn't horrible, but I will say this, though. While I was there, I did get distracted because there are some things that I see out in the wild that are things that I like. I will say this emphatically now. I think I've said it before on the podcast. Of all the times in human history to have a life and an experience, I'm very grateful for this because the favorite things that I like are out there and visible. They are trending, so to speak. Or socially acceptable. So thank you, society, for supporting my proclivities of interest that are physical. That yes, please. So that being the case, with yesterday being Valentine's Day, the idea was we could have done this, I guess, a week ago. But what are our favorite things? Like, what are the things that draw our attention? Whether it be a little or so much so that you get distracted and you could actually end up in trouble. Like if you're driving, you could end up in an accident, or I don't know, at a grocery store, you might be rubbernecking and run the grocery cart into your partner, or a little old lady who's just trying to pick up some mangoes. I don't know.
Wow.
Or you get caught caressing the avocados very specifically in certain ways that.
Look, you're just trying to see if there's any soft spots.
Sure.
Because it's not like they look like big balls or anything.
Well, sometimes you need to, check to make sure that they don't have any hard spots.
You've never heard of that before, Damon? That avocados look like big testicles? I mean, they kind of look like the Hulks if he was had them bound with a rubber band, after a while, because they get real dark. Anyways, welcome to the show, kids.
Wow. Well, here we go. Okay.
That's not one of my favorite features, by the way. Just to clarify for the record, that's not a thing that I get distracted by. I mean, I don't really see them out in the wild very much, so anyways.
Well, if everybody should know now that I have my 3 Bs. Bald, bearded, bellied. I don't like a six-pack. I like a keg. Wait,
Mhm.
my fingers might not be doing something appropriate. Uh, I think the main features that attract me tend to be above the waist.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that makes sense.
the face, the torso, um,
Mhm.
and as I said, bald. If they're bald, if they're bearded, and they're bellied, they have all those. They're definitely going to attract my eye. If they have one or two of those, I'm going to look, evaluate, and go from there. And but it also has to do with like it's not just that they have a beard, it's other parts of the face that I can't really describe specifically because there's so many
Right.
berries. Like I hate porn. Well, I wouldn't say hate. That's a
But
strong word. I don't like porn that only shows like knee to like belly.
you don't
If I can't
like
see
the
their
like
face,
close up porn. You don't
right?
like close
I
up
like.
porn. You don't like
I'm okay with like the brief scenes, but I want them to zoom out. I want to see the
right.
whole action. I want to see the faces. I want to see all that. So while I
Right.
understand why people blur faces or mask themselves or what have you to
Yeah.
hide their identity, which is perfectly fine, it is
Mhm.
less appealing to me if I can't
Right.
see, because sometimes, especially during porn, seeing the facial expressions during it, how the person is feeling, I like to see. So
Mm.
I like it. Mine is more of a package deal, I suppose, than it's bits and pieces.
Right.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to be similar when I'm watching certain videos. Like I don't mind the occasional like close up angles and what have you of
Mhm.
things, but um I kind of like seeing what's going on the face. I like kind of seeing what's going on with the body, the intertwining, as it were. Um, Also, like seeing the if it like usually it's more like a two people. Like I like kind of seeing both parts of it.
Mhm.
Um, Not so much in an editorial sort of way, but in a like let me see their whole perspective kind of matter. Like one of there's one that came to mind, and it's the class like the famous um I think it's Hadrian and one guy, and the guy's eating pizza. Like they're doing the things, but at one point he's like getting Hadrian's plowing the guy, and he's eating pizza, and it's just like this really fun, and it's nice because it kind of goes into a whole different area of features that you would like. It's very fun. It's obviously they're enjoying themselves. Yes, it's sexy, but it's also casual and relaxed because they're relaxed enough. Like I'm gonna chew on some like pizza that you. This wasn't the delivery one, but gonna have fun. Yeah,
No, I mean that's
I mean,
kind of a part of a kink.
yeah, true.
yeah, I mean, those are. I agree with those things. Like as Jeff was talking about those three Bs, I was like, yep, like those will definitely draw my attention. And there's more of it now than ever has been before.
Yeah.
Which is why I said like we live in one of the best
Yay,
times.
body positivity.
Well, I mean, yes, there's that, but there's also like men not caring about having a belly. Also, it comes with age. Yes. Although it is funny to me to see people talk about dad bod like on sites or whatever, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that's okay. Like, so what you're saying is you're a dad and you have a bod, because that's not really what I'm seeing. Like, that's not quite the same thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, it's there's definitely those things. I mean, for me, one of those very specific things that I always catch myself being drawn towards a person is a widow's peak. So
Interesting.
in their hairline, if they have a widow's peak, whether it be a little bit or pronounced, it's something that I find myself getting drawn to. And I don't know what it is about
Yeah.
it. Just something that I notice if I see someone's like, face, whether it's mostly like kind of straight on, like it's a headshot or it's a full body composition or whatever. Like if I can see their hairline, and it's not the first thing I look at, but it's something about them that I'll catch myself and I'll be like, oh, they're pretty attractive or whatever. And I'll kind of think about like what draws me to them, and then I'll be like, oh, there's the hairline. Like it's this like I don't know. It's just something that gets my attention.
Yeah, I have this weird hairline, which doesn't peak, but is almost widow's peakish. Like, my hair is like a thrust stage. Like, the proscenium is probably like right about here, and it has a thrust out and audience around
Such a
it.
theatrical explanation, yes. That's very fair.
Where
Yeah.
and the thing is, it doesn't peak. Like, it doesn't come to a point.
No.
So I don't have a widow's peak.
No.
And it
I mean,
always looks
looking at
like I'm going bald, but I'm not. Because my hairline has been like this since I don't know how long. I wouldn't even say pre-puberty. It's just a lot of the time until I hit like college, when I started actually doing whenever I started doing this hairstyle. I had longer hair, so I think I got covered up a lot, but I've always had this weird hairline. You're going bald, and I'm like, no, I'm not. It's been like this for years. Not that I would mind necessarily. I mean, I cut my hair like this.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
No, I get that. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some other things. Facial hair is a big thing.
Yeah.
Beards for sure. The bigger the beard, I will usually find myself paying attention. Or
Right.
I don't know if I would necessarily say that I'm getting drawn, like I find them attractive, but it's a distinctive kind of thing. And then there's levels to it. So it's like, how well is it maintained?
Right.
If it's not really looking like, if it's kind of looking very wild and woolly, like that's a thing, versus someone who, spends a lot of time maintaining it and like brushing it and caring for it and, all that kind of stuff.
For me,
Yeah.
it ends up going with like, based off of those type of styles, it can be attractive, the not as well kept beard, if there are other features that complement it or give it a nice contrast. Does that make any sense? Like, it could just be as simple as how they dress.
Right.
Like the rugged trucker look.
Yeah.
Versus somebody in a suit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And their head
Yeah,
shape and eyes and things. Just this whole like compilation. That's it. That's all I have.
I will say I like a proportional body. As in like if they're thick, like they're thick proportionally across their body. So and this is just personal preference. I'm not all about chicken leg, like any, like, because some guys, and I get it, like, your body composition is a certain amount of genetics and you can't help that. But like, if
Right.
you've got broad shoulders and a big, barrel chest or whatever, and you just are very triangular shaped, and then like you've got these like pencil legs, I'm just kind of like, oh.
Oh. Oh,
You're thick on top,
no.
be thick on the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was at a store yesterday. The store I was talking about, I get my prescriptions, right? And I go to walk out, and it is busy. So I'm like trying to be polite, congenial to folks that are there, that are in front of me, that try to go by with their grocery carts. And this younger guy, probably in his late 20s, early 30s, broad shouldered, nice hair, beard, glasses, wearing a flannel like over jacket or whatever. I was like, nice, I'll walk behind this, and so I'm like, following him, and I was looking, and I was like, oh, he's just a little bit taller than me, probably about 4 or 5 inches. Like, and this is, I don't know how many people do this, but like in my head, I was like, oh, like we were on a date or whatever, like we danced, like I could put my head like right out the top of his chest, and just, this weird like kind of fantasy thing. But it was funny because I was thinking about like the features, knowing we're doing this topic, then I was like, yeah, like I like taller guys. I want,
Ah,
I always would prefer to be Little Spoon. Like I want someone who is bigger than me in terms of like height, preferably like slightly broader, like shoulders, arms, that kind of stuff.
fair. Yeah. I appreciate a good beard. I appreciate a tall, thick person. I will own that. There's as I mentioned in pre-show, I was at a bear run this weekend. I got to see a lot of features that are very interesting and attractive to me. And there's one guy, and he actually is not. He lives fairly close by, as a matter of fact, not in the city, but he lives within 2 hour range.
Mm-hmm.
And I have followed him for years on the social medias, and he is not shy. He works out. He is so fucking tall, and he's a big boy, and he's a little beefy. Not a little beefy. He's a lot beefy. And I got to see him in person in a certain area of a bear run, if you know what I'm talking about. Um, and Yeah, I didn't have an opportunity to do much, but it was wonderful to see because oh god, his ass. Sorry, he has a really really nice butt. Um, just saying, but it was also jocks and socks, and he had on jock strap. And yes, hallelujah, thank the Lord. It is amazing. It was beautiful. Um, just saying. And I in those spaces, in those kind of spaces, you don't always want to take the shot and take the opportunity, but I like I stood right next to him and just like I'm gonna just stand right next to him and just like and the second I was about to do something, someone else took the chance. And I was like, well, fuck me running. But it's fine. It's fine. We're all here to have a good time. We're all in that space to have a good time. I missed my opportunity, but I got a good show.
Well,
And he
who knows? It may happen again at some point in the future.
Yeah, it can. But yeah, he has a lot of the features that I tend to find myself drawn to. Like the tallness is a big one for me. Um, he has a nice beard. He's again kind of the BBB, um, and he has a decent amount of fur. So there's one that I haven't talked about. Like I love like a furry guy where it's like just like peeking out from under a shirt or you can see it on like if they're wearing like a tank top or something like that where just like it's showing on the shoulders and on the back and just yeah. I love a furry boy. Furry man, I should say. Um yeah. I am the consummate like bear hunter in that sense. It's that that's what I like to see on a guy. And it doesn't matter the color. Um but I tend to go to darker furs, but I also tend to really, obviously, ha ha ha, you see my husband. I also like daddy bears. So if you're like a salt and pepper or getting into the like gray white area, yeah, that's fine too. Especially if you're hairy. Ooh, again, another guy that I saw at this run this weekend. Because again, it was Saturday night. It was jocks and socks. There were a bunch of guys walking around in pretty much nothing. And this a shorter gentleman, actually, older daddy bear. I remember specifically um, the white beard and just covered, just like this, like tan-ish skin, and then just like a not a blanket, but like a nice little fleece of white, um, all up the chest, on the back, on the shoulders, and on the butt. Yes, check, check, check.
Yeah, I'm very fur flexible.
Mm,
It kind of it depends on the guy.
right.
There's a lot of things that depend on the rest of the guy. Again, I'm a guy
True.
who likes things based, like there's specific points, like it needs to have these specific effects, and then everything else is just flavor.
Mm.
You know,
I think that's fair.
like I do have this strong attraction to Asian men who tend to be not very hairy.
Mm.
Tend to be. There's a few exceptions,
Yeah.
but they tend to not be as hairy. But there's just something about. And I think this is kind of works for almost any colored person. Is it their skin, just how their skin looks, and like want to feel the smoothness. But then there's the uber fur balls that I absolutely adore as well. Like I don't know if you guys know the Mency, a Spanish big bear guy in Porn Star. Gorgeous. He's a huge fur ball. And I like his darker skin and etc. So, yeah, the types of beards, especially, like a couple of features. Let's slight course of turn off or not as attractive to me is I don't like the twirled mustache. Like if they have curled mustaches, it might like I might find that hey, that looks good on you, but I don't necessarily feel like I'm attracted to that person. Like it turns off the attraction, but it might still look good. Does that make any sense? And long hair is a turnoff. Again, you might look attractive with it, or look good with it, but it doesn't make, I'm not attracted to it. There are some people who have long hair, which it just completely turns them off for me. Short hair to buzzed hair to bald. That's my jam. It's very important.
I mean, I agree on the like it depends on the person kind of a thing.
Mm.
I appreciate like the hirsuteness of an individual, how hairy a person can be, and yet two of my boyfriends were not very hairy at all, which is ironic because that says to me I wasn't attracted to them or dating them because of like that. It was obviously like other factors. So
yeah, and that's sort of the thing. I think overall here, like there are things that we can enjoy and have like again eye-catching, alluring, etc. It doesn't necessarily automatically mean that that's what we're going to be, fall in love with or what have you. Um, I tend like again, I keep going back to the bear run thing, but like going to this run and seeing all these people, there were hundreds of people, if not thousands of people at this event, and there's always going to be something that's going to catch your eye or distract you, as it were. But it's not an immediate like I want to go home with them. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna marry them. No, 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 no. But it's very much a instinctual, semi-sexual interest or desire. It's gonna make you turn. It's gonna make you turn your head. Huh?
It's going to range from the completely sexual to the completely non-sexual.
Right. Like I am one of the things I used to when I was younger. I loved. I've talked about it before. Darker fur or with bright eyes. So like a brown or black hair with a bright blue or green or hazel kind of eye. And it was something that I think would almost always like catch my eye. The one porn star that comes to mind immediately was Buck Bauer because I think he was a very darker furred guy with really bright like blue eyes. Or maybe he was the brown. I can't remember. There's one I remember specifically from Bear films in the earlier days that I was like, yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, I will say that individuals who are not oh god, I'm trying to think of how to say this. Like you were saying, Damon, like someone who has a uniqueness about them that is not like part of like the majority. So like lots of folks who have dark hair tend to have dark eyes. So like black hair, brown eyes, brown hair, brown eyes. Like those are pretty standard like combinations of things. Like there's a redhead that I follow online. He's really not my type. But seems like a very beautiful person. Like in terms of their personality, they're very giving and charitable and has like a swimmer's build, but they're a ginger and they have like these crazy blue eyes. And it's just one of these things where I'm just like you're just pretty to look at, but would not, doesn't attract me in a way that I'm like, hey, let's go meet in a bathroom stall or anything. It's like it's very much like if we were to meet, I'd be like, can I buy you like a coffee at the local cafe or something? Just sit down, have a chat.
Nice.
So yeah, no, there's definitely
eye shape
is
also a factor. I think. Gary was talking about height, how you prefer the taller guys and being big and being the little spoon. I'm bi-spoonal. Like there's something about
flexible.
Like I could be the big spoon, I could be the little spoon. I'm okay with both. There's just something about like a short pocket cub versus a tall, gentle giant.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that I've been both. Like, I think it's about the dynamic in the time and the space. Like, guys who are younger than me, from time to time, I get that feeling that they want that kind of daddy comfort presence. So, like, being the big spoon is understandable, but I know that there's totally like this majority part of me that is like, no, I want to be like the one that's comforted and held and stuff. So yeah.
Wow.
What?
I'm greedy. Love me. Hold me.
That's what you took away from that? Gee,
No, I was making a joke. Oh my
dang.
god.
Now you're gonna make me go talk to my therapist about that. Yikes.
Do I have daddy issues?
Yes.
Who are you answering for? Yourself or what? For us or what?
Yes.
Uh-huh. I thought so.
Oh, but no, I think
Sipping tea.
I think
Although there's no
sometimes,
tea. It's
huh?
matcha. I'm sipping tea.
Uh,
Even though there's no tea in here at the moment.
Yeah. I think there's some joy in finding the things that you find attractive, things that will like. I keep using the word eye catch because that's the thing that is my like.
Well,
That's what
I think that's
what-
right. Features are the thing that pull you in. Like, would
Yeah.
you look at this person or talk to this person in the first place if you didn't find something about them eye catching? I
Right.
mean, there may be something where you're in some sort of social situation and they end up entering the conversation. You just end up having a conversation. You start having mental attraction. Is that the word? I don't know.
Yeah.
To them versus necessarily their physical attraction. But in general, one thing that is a factor into anyone finding a relationship or being attracted or finding a hookup is physical attraction, is these features.
Right.
Sometimes it's just one feature that necessarily brings it in, and maybe you don't quite like something else, but damn, he's got a nice dick. Or, oh, I love that big belly. Oh, he's got good fur. He's got kind of long hair. But there's all these other things that kind of balance it out.
Right.
Especially if you're just doing a hookup.
Yeah.
Fair.
To add one more, because it just came to my head. Voice.
Oh, yes.
Like a deeper, like a deeper, huskier voice. I think that's the word I'm going to use.
Very right.
Are like certain accents. I think I tend to find myself more interested in. Like we all know Chris Hemsworth. That's the one that comes to mind. But like that kind of Australian-esque old English kind of voice kind of really draws me in.
Good Scott. Good Scots.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Like there's just something about a certain accent. Not all accents. Don't get me wrong. There's some kind of like no, I'm good. But it's very wonderful to hear a confidence almost in a voice that speaks louder than what they're actually saying. I've met some really great people with really great voices that could read the phone book to me, and I'd be like, "Yeah, thanks so much. I'll listen to you all day."
That's fair. I will say one of the standout memories I have is being locally here at a bar and seeing a guy that I was like, oh, he's pretty attractive. Like not my total type, but he had like perfect beard syndrome and nice eyes. And I went over to talk to him and had the hardest time not having facial expression because they were like, because what I'm looking at is a package, and then the voice was not matching. So I have this like slightly hyper masculine kind of individual, and then I hear, "Hi, my name's," and I was like, "Oh my!" Like I
Shattered.
just, like I just did not know how to process that. I was like, "What the world?" Like,
Does not compute. Does not
well,
compute.
and then the worst part of it is like you can't shut your brain off. Well, I mean, you could try to like disengage and not go down that path, but then I'm like, oh no, like this does not bode well, because like if we were to try to get our freak on, now all I'm thinking about is that voice, like not anything else. And I was young enough that I didn't know about ball gags, or duct tape, or like anything to like keep the
Oh,
the sounds from becoming a distraction or an issue.
I just had the worst. Like just the
Uh-huh.
the
Uh-huh.
the the the,
Uh-huh.
the scene in my head.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, come on. Just come for daddy. Come for daddy.
No, shut up, bitch. Stop now.
Yeah, do you like that?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's
no.
that's
No.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's quite mind bending.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
I
Very
think
fair.
there are an occasion where I think that contrast or kind of a balance of contrast, if that makes any sense, where will actually work. But it deals with intonation and language and how harsh
Yeah.
of a contrast it is. So, but if it's a heavy contrast, that's like, I have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the word is, and it is, I have the problem, not they have the problem.
Yeah.
I have the problem.
Right.
It's my problem. It's my fault. It's not your fault. You be you.
I mean,
the way you are.
it goes both ways though. Like, I think I've told the story before about the guy that was at the play space at the campground I used to work at, who he had a really good voice, but also had a script of a broken record.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
You told
just
the
like,
story. Yeah.
right. And so like, it's like, yeah, this could be hot, but this could also be not hot, because like you just keep saying the same thing over and over again. And you're just like, all right, I get it. Like, this is somehow like exciting to you or tantalizing or whatever. Like, but I can't continue to listen for minutes upon minutes upon minutes, nonstop of you saying the same thing over and over again. Like, first of all, this is not a porn. And, and second of all, like, I need some variety, something other than.
Sometimes it's okay to just not say anything. Just grunt
That
and
part.
moan. You can still be vocal without saying words. And you don't even have to be vocal. I mean, it's not really a requirement. It might be a turn on for a bunch of people. Like, I honestly don't know what to say. So I'm a very silent person when it's coming.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's a time and a place. So, like, a public space is not probably the environment to be the most vocal.
Mm-hmm. But
that
even,
being said,
even in private, you don't have to be that vocal either. If you don't, if you feel like you're being a broken record, maybe stop talking and just groan and moan. It's fine.
They don't know. Sometimes they don't know.
That's fair.
Sometimes they don't know. Sometimes
General
they do.
advice for our listeners.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to like, if you're like say in a bathhouse or a play space, sometimes people get a little dramatic, and I'm like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, there's putting on a show, and then there's like you want to be the center of everybody's attention,
Yep.
and I'm like,
Happened last night.
that's not a turn on for me, or a feature that I like favor or have any interest in.
Yeah. Yeah. I think sounds bad. Overacting in a way can be a problem. Like there was, again, going back last night, I was at the bar. I was at a bear run, and then there was someone in the play space that was in a sling, and they were getting fucked very loudly. They were getting fucked, and I appreciate that they were enjoying it. Great for them. What I did not appreciate was how loud they got and vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Grunts and groans are one thing, but actual like almost sentences, yeah, we're good in that kind of environment.
Right.
I was like, can someone please put a gag or a dick in that person's mouth? So it was one of those moments because it was in the other room. That's how loud it was.
Well, I guess the question becomes, would you be willing to be the one that helps shut them up, or do you think that wouldn't have helped and they still would have made noise?
I don't think the problem was the noise. It was the full sentences.
It was both. It was
because some people,
level,
yeah.
I understand encouraging your top to like be like words of encouragement to your top, and that you are enjoying it, and I can understand and respect that. But again, this isn't therapy. I mean, but this isn't therapy. We don't need to be that loud for someone to know that they're enjoying what you're doing, that what they're doing to you.
Yeah. No,
Like
that's fair.
I will admit, I like looked to my left and right, and I'm like, is there something I can use to put in this person's mouth? Like I had that feeling, like it was just that bad.
I mean, you could have gone to presuming it's a hotel room with a bathroom, you could have gone to the bathroom and got a bar of soap, but that probably would have been really rude.
Those bars of soap weren't that big.
That's not the point. Soap doesn't taste good. So, like, anyways. Yeah. So, have you, I think we're kind of getting towards the end. My question for you is, have you ever been caught looking?
Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Since
I mean,
since I've been in a bigger place. And although I do have to say, there's one guy who just happens to always be in my line of sight whenever he's in at work, that I just like, he's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's always in that direction, so I can make excuses if anybody else, and I don't try to stare. I just look down.
That's
at
fair.
The computer.
Looking everywhere, but
yeah,
like straight ahead.
Oh wait, what's over here? What is
subtle.
This random thing? Yeah, I was being overt for the sake of the bit. But yes, I have been caught. I am. Well, you probably saw. I'm not that subtle sometimes. And it's I do it, but I'm not as it's not as big an issue at certain spaces. Like if I'm at a bear run or a bear event, I don't mind it as much. I may even extend looking for the sake of things. But like public places, um, at other times, I
Grocery
try to
store.
be, yeah, grocery store for. We'll use Gary's grocery store as an example. Because yeah, you will see a lot of interesting types of people. We all know about stroller daddies, and those kind of things, and the guys that we find attractive, and features that we've seen. Yes, if there is a feature enough that is enough to catch your eye to the point of distraction, which has happened. Um, I haven't been, as far as I know, I haven't been caught in that way. Um, but I could see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
You can try, like, you can do the quick look away, but if they're fast enough to catch you looking, then they already know you're looking.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I recently was at the laundromat and there was a dude that like caught my attention, and then the problem was he was always in my line of sight, and I was like honestly, a part of me was like, could you please not be where I'm looking, because I don't want it to be obvious that I'm like staring at you, because you are taller than me, nicely built, wearing a flannel over jacket and a ball cap, and you obviously are bald, and you have like a beard, and like I mean just like all these things are adding up, and I'm like just trying to get my laundry done.
More reason to
Like,
go to the laundromat.
You
You might
know.
want to turn that around because I don't think he's throwing shade. Maybe you want to use the truth one. I don't know.
no. I'm just. This is just the like.
No, I know what you mean. It's just the contrast of what it's saying on the fan.
I don't have another fan. I mean, I have my true factor.
Shut.
I mean, you can turn it around.
That is the tiniest
This-
spanking implement I've seen in quite some time.
What do you do? What do you do?
It's actually like a little smacker.
Yeah.
See, this is one
Could
of the
be fun,
reasons
though.
why you. This is one of the reasons why you like bring a book to the laundromat and not like your phone or a tablet might work. You know, something where you can do like look over said object. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm way too observant. That shit that David's doing right now, I would totally catch that. I'd be like, bitch, you ain't reading that book.
Yeah, but this isn't about you looking at somebody reading the book. This is about you not getting caught by somebody else. It's just
True, but I know myself well enough. I don't think I could.
maybe
I don't
maybe
think
you
I
could
be
do the
something about
phone.
it.
It's just like, yeah, maybe the fact that you kind of like slightly turn it up and don't
Yeah,
worry
I don't
about
know.
the flash. You know, just yeah, snap.
We shall see.
Snap. I'm just looking at my social media on my phone. Snap.
Mm-hmm.
I just took
The
like
bad part is I'm
5
awful
different
at that.
I just took
Like,
like 5 different photos of my computer screen. Nope, I took 9.
Yeah, like, because I'm the double, like, is it in an angle? Let me pull it up a little more. And now, yeah, I'm totally just like looking at my phone at
I'm
this
not,
close to my face. Absolutely. I'm
I'm
not
not
taking
photo
any kind of,
sniping. Sniping.
yeah, not at all. Like, let me just make sure I've got the zoom in. There we go. Oh, look, I'm reading this text on this page for the 500th time. Snap. Yeah, no. I'm not a fan.
Maybe you're playing a game, you know.
Because we can't get into the whole, like, am I getting any signal? Like, do I have signal? Like, that's the one that, like, I think is can't
No, because
really
now
happen as much anymore.
most laundromats have Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And not only that, like signals
Not
are a
necessarily
lot
good
stronger than they used to be. Yeah.
Correct.
Signals are also a lot stronger. You're not like,
or the speeds are high
unless
enough
you're
that you
in,
don't necessarily need a strong signal to watch a YouTube video.
right. Exactly. Speaking of which, you should watch us on YouTube.
That's where we are right now, as we speak.
Oh, meta.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, this isn't Facebook. It's not Meta.
But bump.
Anyways,
But
it sounds like we're wrapping up here.
Oh,
Anything
Gary,
else?
have you gotten caught? Have you gotten caught?
Sure. I can't be this old and have not gotten caught. Like no one's confronted me or said anything necessarily. I think I might have creeped out some straight men.
I can't remember being caught, but I know I've been caught. But
yeah, I know it's worked in my favor in certain environments that I was viewed by the intended party I was watching.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually, bathhouses, play spaces, things of that nature. You know,
that's
where
where you're encouraged to look.
Well, I mean, there is some play, So if the features are attracting you, and you're kind of like, oh, nice, you decide whether or not, I'm also like, I like to be coy. It doesn't quite work, like necessarily. I know this, like, and by that I mean like it doesn't come across like I have this whole fantasy in my head of like, oh, look at me, I'm so coy and demure and like, giving off all these like, pheromones or whatever, and then, they're not picking up on it at all. So, no, not like that. Like I know well enough to not like, look boo boo to fool doing it. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that I've been caught, but like, never in a life-threatening situation where they were like, "Would you look at that faggot?" Although that in certain circumstances it could be kind of hot. But again,
that's a whole other role play scenario.
Yeah.
I've seen that porn.
Joe Gage, what? So yeah. Oh. Now, see, if you're watching us on YouTube, you're watching the video, you could see David actually do a spit take. Just proves he doesn't swallow all the time. Are we ready to wrap? Double shade. Wow. All right.
Anyways,
I think
we're.
It's the day after. It's the day after Valentine's Day. I realized I didn't go out today because I was exhausted from going out yesterday in the midst of the madness. So I think tomorrow I may venture to see if I can find discounted treats.
Valentine's candy. Yeah. Oh. Maybe. Anyway, sorry.
Moving on. Plain ways of contact. What are your favorite features? Let us know at cubsoutloud.com. Shoot us an email at cubsoutloud@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail at 361-COL-TALK. That's 361-265-8255. You'll follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube at Cubs Out Loud, the appropriate place, the URL. You can join our entourage chat on Telegram at bit.ly/telegram-col. Oh, excuse me. You can also find out when we're planning on recording these shows once we know ourselves by checking out our Google Calendar at bit.ly/calendar-col. You can get various accoutrements such as shirts, caps, mugs, handy towels. Over our merch store over on Zazzle, zazzle.com/cubsoutloud. Some of those designs were designed by Smashy. You can find more of his work at tpublic.com/user/SmashyTheBear. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/cubsoutloud or send us a donation at paypal.me/cubsoutloud. You can find us on the various podcasting platforms at Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, etc. You can find me anywhere on the internet as Box Cub. Damon.
If you get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cub 79. That's TheaterCub79 on most very related sites. Or you can find me as Pup Umbra 79 on Blue Sky. That Blue Sky is not safe for work. For safe for work stuff, you want DMA Gamer 79 on Blue Sky or TikTok.
I wonder how many of our listeners actually want the safe for work stuff. Anyways, moving on.
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as Garebear73. Sometimes on this podcast, laughing at the silliness of Damon trying to hide behind a handy little towel. Anyways.
And with that, say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.